Hello everyone, this is Robin Davis. A warm and hearty welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my very first video in this channel, and so you'll have to pardon my mistakes if there are any. Please let me know if there are any ways that I can improve this video for you and make it easier for you to understand, or if there's anything which I've missed out on mentioning during this video. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we're going to talk about today. This video in particular has been made to help some of us who are at home and who don't have ready access to a laptop repair center. Now, I would strongly recommend that you give your laptop to an authorized service center if you're not comfortable repairing it by yourself. But in case you have a laptop which you can open up by yourself, which is a laptop which is not under warranty, and you don't have much to lose by opening it up and giving it a shot at repairing it, I would recommend this method. But for the rest of you who have laptops which are still under warranty, I would strongly recommend that you do not attempt to repair your own laptop. Alright, so I'll jump straight into it. To demonstrate what we're about to do today, I've got a Dell Inspiron 3000 series, a 15-inch laptop that you can see in front of me. And the problem with this laptop is that the keyboard does not work. Just opened up a search bar, a random search bar, which is a global search bar in Windows 8 operating system, and I'm going to try typing the different letters for you to see. I'm going to type A, it doesn't come up. I'm going to type S, it doesn't come up. So pretty much none of the keys work. All right, so let's get straight to it. As you can see, I've powered down the laptop, and I'm gonna flip it over for you to see what is going on at the back. So I'm just gonna take you through what the laptop looks like at the back, so to make you comfortable. So it essentially has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws, which are visible on the outer surface, and it also has 2 release latches. This over here is essentially the power pack, and these 2 release latches are to remove the battery pack. This screw seems to be one to release the hard disk drive, but I'm not going to open that for now because we're only trying to replace the keyboard. All right. As I mentioned, the 2 latches over here are to release the battery pack. So what I would say you do is you push them to the side, and while you do that, slowly release the battery pack like that. And as you can see, that is the battery pack with the terminals over here, and then you have the battery off. There are 2 reasons why we remove the battery pack. Number one, because we don't want to be working with the keyboard that's attached to the circuitry of the motherboard and the other peripherals while the power is still on, because the battery pack essentially supplies the power to this laptop. If you're working on your laptop's circuitry, which includes your motherboard, the keyboard, or the hard disk drive, while the battery pack is in, it means the circuit is charged up, and there's a good possibility for you to short circuit your motherboard, which is something that I would not recommend. The second reason why we don't leave the battery pack in is because, as you can see, there are 2 spots over here for screws, one over here and one over here, which we would have to take off in order for us to release the keyboard. So I'm going to go ahead and show you which screws it is that we are targeting. So the 2 screws over here, the ones just behind the battery pack cover, plus the 2 screws over here, the 1 screw over here, the 2 screws to the middle portion of, or the lower middle portion of the laptop, and the bottom 2 screws. I'm going to go ahead and remove them. I would recommend that you keep them on a piece of paper in the same layout that they are in right now, so that you don't get confused which screw goes back where. And it makes things much easier when you're putting your laptop back together. All right, so now that we have the screws removed successfully, we flip the laptop back up again, and we open the flap, so we have access to the keyboard. Now what I want you to do is to look very carefully around the perimeter of the keyboard as to whether there is a small notch which is going to allow you to wedge a flat end screwdriver in very, very lightly. And for you to understand the structure of this keyboard, there are hinges which come below the keyboard, and these essentially go into the pockets. Alright, so for this particular laptop, I see that there is an option to pry the keyboard out from over here. I'll show it to you closely. Alright, So that's where I'm going to be prying it open. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to pry the keyboard open and release it from the chassis of the laptop. So as I mentioned, I'm going to put the flat-ended screwdriver into the gap which is there in between the keyboard and the chassis, and try to pry it open. As you can see, it's lifting up, and I apply a little bit of force, and as you can see, it's come right off. And the way it is structured, as I mentioned, the bottom part doesn't move because, as you can see, it has these small ends so that they go into the into pockets which are just below it. This is in order to aid for the structural stability of the keyboard and to stop it from moving around within the chassis of the laptop. So this is the reason why I recommended that you wedge the keyboard out from the top side. Right, so as you can see, the keyboard is connected using this cable to the motherboard of the laptop, and there very clearly is a socket over here which holds down this cable. What you're going to do is you're going to use the flat end of your screwdriver again to shimmy this up. As you can see, this particular flap is what controls the locking mechanism. Once it's up, please don't bend it back. It should be at 90 degrees, as you can see. And once it's up, you will be able to take the cable out. So now the keyboard is completely free from your laptop, and your laptop's going to look like that. I would recommend that you get a Dell approved standard issued keyboard. This is one which I got from a dealer who happens to be a good friend of mine. It's an authentic Dell Inspiron 3000 series laptop keyboard. It comes as a spare part from the Dell factory, and as you can see, it comes in a completely sealed package. I have ripped it open earlier just to check it, but this is what it would look like. So now I'm going to take this keyboard out, and even before you go ahead and buy the spare part, I would recommend that you place both of the keyboards side by side to just make sure that the configuration is pretty much the same. All right, so I have got the keyboard out of the plastic wrapping, and this is what it looks like. Oops, it's upside down. All right, the keyboard is in the very same standard configuration, and as you can see, the back side has it's a very plain structure, and it's got this this connector strip. If you flip over the connector strip, you can see it's pretty much blank, and over here, it's, as you can see, it's written up. And the reason why they have indicated up is to say that this is the side which should be on top when you connect this cable to the socket, which is right over here. So I'm gonna just connect this for you and show you what it looks like after I've connected it. All right, so I have inserted the strip into the socket. What you want to do is you want to use your finger to slowly bring it back down and lock the strip in place, and there you have finished connecting your new keyboard to your existing laptop. Now once you've done that, what you're going to do next is you're going to look for the grooves into which these gentlemen go into, and you're going to push them in first, and you can see it forms something like a lever. Once that's done, as you can see, your cable actually folds in the back, which makes it very comfortable, and then you're just going to push it down while it clicks into place, and then you're done. Now all you need to do is to replace the screws at the back. Alright, so as you can see, I have put all the screws back in place, and I'm going to just take the battery pack and plug it back in. You just need to slide it in and it clicks in place the same way you did it with the keyboard. Again, bottom first, and then just click the top in and it works. Now let's go power this up and see whether he works the way we want it to. Now let's just take a look and see whether it works the way it's supposed to. Okay, let's try powering it up. open up Word to see if the keyboard's working the way it should. Okay, so I'll just increase the font size a little bit just so that you can see what's being typed. I'm going to go ahead and test the keys now. A works fine, S works fine, D. Alright, looks like the keyboard works just fine and has been integrated successfully. Alright, that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for taking the time out to watch. I indeed hope that this was useful for you, and good luck repairing your laptop. And again, I'd like to remind you not to meddle with your laptop if it's still under warranty. Good luck, stay home, stay safe, and God bless. Cheers.